going on, everybody? What's going on, Burnout Freak? Thanks, Grumpy Bear. What's up, Mike? Nah, no V8. I'll be building the 2276 stroker. Air-cooled Volkswagen engine. What's up, Mark Smith? Scholar. Today I was just working on boxing in the A pillar. I had to cut out like 60% of the A pillar to clear the Lambo door hinge. No, Mike, I'm not trading it. Thanks for the offer, though. Yeah, Mark, always all the way into back. Yeah, so I've got an appointment. At, I don't know, between 12 and 1 o'clock. And, I just wanted to jump on here real quick and give you guys an update. Thank you, Tools to Use. So I'm gonna have to do these one at a time, but let's get this one first here. So I just got done boxing in the A pillar. I had to cut a bunch of it out to clear the Lambo door hinge. But now she's all boxed back in. Obviously, it still needs to be fully welded, like everything else. Everything's just tacked. And eventually, when all the body fab is done, then I'll go through and weld the entire body solid. Yeah, it is a big job, Brad. Especially since it keeps growing. Murder the Finish, what's up? You finished painting that car? So you can see it's all boxed in now. Yeah, Big Daddy, I have YouTube. I'm streaming on both right now. Anytime I go live, I'm on live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. That's why if you see me talking to somebody, it's not in the comments, it's probably on the other platform. Tools to use. This is from my mind. There's no blueprint. I hand fabricated every piece. The only things that I haven't modified on this car, top to bottom, front to back, is the actual door. I haven't changed any metal on the door, at least yet. I got to figure out the door handles eventually. There's a lot of stuff. So eventually the doors will be modified too. But every piece, roof, front deck, front beams, suspension, the car's been stretched, the wheelbase has been widened. Yeah, the merch store is open too. The link's under my bio. It's Air Ride, tool to use. I designed my own airbag system for it. Hand fabricated drop swing link and mount supports in the rear. And then the front is air struts. Big Daddy Drew, what tools do I need to do what you do? Barclay Square says you could buy a new car and it's already put together. The fuck's the fun in that? Tools to use, you're good. That's what we're here for. Ask me questions. We're here to talk about the car, me, what's going on. That's why I go live. I don't go live to work. I go live to meet you guys and answer questions. Okay, back to what tools do you need to do what I do? Honestly, you can do what I do with very minimal tools, okay? You really don't need much. You need a welder, for sure. You need a grinder, or 3. You know, those are cheap, Harbor Freight, they're like $10. I have a couple of them in here. I have a couple different brands because people gave me other ones, or, you know, it's mix match. If a tool works, I don't care what brand it is, as long as it does its job like it's supposed to. If it doesn't, then I chuck it and get a different one. But welder, grinder, and then probably sheet metal hammers and dollies. Regular hand tools, needle nose pliers, vice grips. I mean, when I started doing this, that was all I had. Some of that I didn't even have, you know, and I just used a ball peen hammer and the concrete because I didn't have a hammer and dolly. But really with the welder, that's going to be the biggest expense. You want to get a gas MIG welder, or TIG if you can TIG. I can't, so I MIG everything. And maybe like $800 to $1,000, and you can get started doing this. And you don't have to get it all at once, one piece at a time. I suggest getting the welder first, because that's going to be the biggest expense. Ask away, tools to use. What do you want to know about the Air Ride? Like I said, I do have an appointment in like 15, 30 minutes. I don't know. I'm waiting for the guy to show up. He wants Air Ride on his Volkswagen Beetle. So I'm meeting with him to give him a quote. Yeah, you guys want to see the fenders? These are 325 50/15s track tires, track slicks. They're DOT approved for the street, but they're massive. They're 16-inch sidewall to sidewall, and I have them stretched on a 15-inch by 15-inch rim. Yeah, Lambo doors. Yeah, Steve, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. This is what I do for fun. Tools to use. Want to know with the rear, where did you find the room with that size wheels? So with those size tires, I went out, not in. I widened the wheelbase on the entire car by like 12 inches. 6 on each side. So the tires came away from the body. That's why they stick out so far. And then the front end has been stretched 10 inches forward, 4-inch drop. And then the wheelbase has been widened, I think, 3 or 3.5 inches on each side. With wheel spacers, offsets, you know, not the actual axles. So this is the Berzerker symbol. It's a Nordic bind rim. No, Volkswagen Beetles don't have a frame. They're unibody. Well, they're a pan with a body on top. It's all sheet metal, no frame. They have a trans swing axle. The early ones like this do. Later they went to IRS, which was, you know, straight up and down, but these swing out. That's why that tire is cambered. There's no air in the airbags right now, so it's slammed all the way down, and you can see the tire kicks out. No, I don't know anybody. Yeah, I've seen the LS powered Beetles. No, Dark Turtle. I've had people mention the Berzerker series. I've never seen it. I don't know what it is. Yeah, this is a 67 originally. Yeah, I had to reverse hinge the front hood to make room for the Lambo door hinge in the quarter panel. Have any test on the stoppers when bags are full? What do you mean? Tools to use. I'm in Idaho, USA. Oh, rubbing on fenders? Yeah, so when I built the fenders in the rear, I slammed the car all the way down. So it's all the way down. The tire cannot come up any more than that. And then I built the fender around it with a 1/2 inch clearance all the way around, except on the face of the tire right here. That's only, I think, a 1/4 inch clearance. But as far as up top, it has at least a 1/2 inch minimum towards the back, because the tire cambers. There's more, but there's a 1/2 inch at the high spot. What's up, Bike Guy 101? Thanks, Charles. Any idea when it'll be finished? Yeah, I'm hoping to have it done in 12 more months. I hope to be doing body work and paint next summer. Jennifer Peterson, is the motor done? No, it's not. I have it in 1,000 pieces. I handpicked every part of the engine, and I still have to build it. I hope to be doing that this winter or spring. Yeah, Simon, it's a ton of work. But there's, I don't have any instructions or directions. I had a general idea of what I wanted to do with it, and as I modify parts, other parts need to be modified. The car just tells me, what it needs, what else to build, just to make it all fit aesthetically. So it keeps growing, the amount of modifications. I go live every Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Typically 9 to 10, just depending. Yeah, I'll be building a 2276 stroker, air-cooled Volkswagen engine, mounted in the back, as it should be. It'll be around 200 horsepower at about, the car should weigh about 1,800 pounds, give or take. So the power to weight ratio is really good. Says you can hide a hammer in a beard that big. I have two. What's up, Simon? That's a VW bug frame. So Volkswagens don't have frames. They're unibody or pan and body. What's up, Danny Patton? I see you. Thanks for sharing my videos earlier. I appreciate it. DHO, how much time do you have a week to work on it? Typically I have Friday. Not always, but for about the last year at least, every Friday. My normal work schedule might be changing. I hope not. But I've been working 410, so I've been able to get in here, work all day Friday on the bug, and then Saturday edit videos, and then Sunday post them and do a live. That's pretty much my routine. Yeah, so far, but I started from the ground up. rebuilding everything. The front beam was completely disassembled, degreased, rebuilt, modified. The rear, the transmission, the pans were repaired. Lots of work. This is about 15 months so far of work. Tools to use. You planning on caging it? No. I like to live life dangerous. No cage, no seat belts. What's up, Whiskas? R9. How you doing? Should it have a roll cage in it? Definitely. I don't want the extra weight. Can I give some quick details on the build? Yeah. You want to walk around? Get you some? Let me give this guy a walk around real quick. Alright. So I started from the bottom, redid the pan, patched in where it needed to be patched in, sealed it. 2 layers of quick roof, basically Dynamat, for insulation and soundproofing. I got a little overzealous. I got to rip all that out back there, because I still have a lot of welding I need to do to the body, and I can't weld through the sealer and the backer. Stretched the front beam 10.5 inches and dropped it 4 inches. It's on air struts. You can see my airline. So it's air in the front. I had to notch the hood for the steering box because the front beam's supposed to be back here. I'll show you in a second. Cut this out on my plasma table. And then hood scoop, that's where I'm going to hide the headlights. I've got micro headlights. You can see them right there. They're going to sit inside here. I'm going to have 4 of them in there on each side, so that'll be my headlights. Shaving the wipers off, defrost gone, no heater. Built a whole subframe and hand fabricated a hinge to reverse flip the hood so I could make room for the Lambo door hinges. I had to make an entire subframe inside of here to support the door. But you can see right there, the front beam used to mount back here. So I had to modify the steering shaft, put a little carrier bearing or idler bearing, and then double U-joint to rag joint to steering box. No power steering. Keep the weight down. .5-inch vented visor. Factory hand crank sunroof. So you can see the air flows right up over the windshield and out here. I'll be adding a snorkel and restructuring the whole rear roof, quarter panels, and back end. These are 16-inch wide sidewall to sidewall track slicks. They're Nito somethings. 325/50 R15s. Brake vent, also backlit with purple LEDs everywhere. Hand fabricated the wide fenders. Airbags in the rear. This Pro Street built tranny, welded throw out, welded second, one-piece boots, chrome ollie axles, converted the whole car to disc brake. So it's disc brakes all the way around. My notes, so I don't forget stuff. And then I designed this drop link out of a trailer shackle, 2 poly joints and a Heim joint right there. Because the tires camber when it squats, because this is a swing axle trans. So all the angles change as the suspension goes up and down, so I had to join it in 3 spots. But that's a double convoluted D2500 airbag, and then a mini strut right there. Lambo doors. I hand fabricated these panels. Just made these last week. You guys can check out the videos. I made these louvers by hand. They also have a removable screen. This screen snaps, it unlocks and comes out. This isn't welded in yet, so it's kind of a pain to get out, so I'm not going to do it right now. But put some old spark plugs in the wiper holes. Every show I go to, people love them. That's pretty cool. So all this moves one piece with the door. This panel's removable, the screen's removable, so I can stick Allen keys in there and get all the mounting hardware to adjust the hinges and or service them. The front quarter's been widened 2 inches, I think, and the rear's 2.5 inches. But then you can see everything clears, nothing rubs. This is what I just got done doing today. I just did it piece by piece because I wasn't exactly sure what was going to clear. So I just kept growing it slowly. On the other side, now that I know, basically, I'll be able to copy this and just cut it out of one piece. But I got done boxing in the A-pillar. I had to cut a lot of the A-pillar out to clear the hinges. You can see this panel's removable right here. You can take these bolts out and this whole panel comes off. What's up, Hudson? 1985 Mustang. So it's a ton of fab work, a ton of engineering and design and fabricating, welding, cutting off, fabricating, welding, cutting off, and then getting it to fit right. What's up, Chris Jackson? Yeah, I live for it too. Can't get enough of it. B-Rad's place, what's going on? Thanks, Faux Show 30. Eventually, I hope to be able to do this full time. You can make that bus fast. Throw a 2332 with a turbo on it. B-Rad. If you was gonna undercoat a truck, would you use fluid fill or paint or what? Any undercoating. This is all personal preference, right? So there might be a better way, there might be a faster way, I don't know. But what I would do is rust bullet underneath. So I'd wire wheel the whole thing And if you had to weld in any patches, I would float the patches out in fiber bond to fill any pinholes. Okay? So float it out in fiber bond, sand it down. Then I would hit it with rust bullet. I think it's. Make sure I'm telling you the right stuff here. Yeah. Yeah, it's rust bullet black shell. I would hit it with that. That's paintable, but that is a rust converter. And it's got the 3 rust. It converts old rust. It prevents new rust. It's really tough. It's a really tough shell. So rust bullet black shell. Then I would spray rubber undercoating on top of that. What's up, Poland? Yeah, the rust bullet too, you can just brush on. Literally brush on. Just remember, whatever you get it on, it ain't coming off, including you. So you might want to suit up or tuck your beard. It took me weeks to get it out of my beard. POR 15. Everybody, I don't know if it's because it's been around so long, everybody's conditioned for POR 15. I think it's a shitty product. I mean, some of their stuff's good, but rust bullet, when it comes to coating, like even the whole inside of this car underneath the Dynamat is rust bullet. Rust bullet everything. It's literally the best protector for metal. But you're gonna want to rubber coat after that, because eventually it will wear off, you know, and the rubber coating can take some more abuse. Thanks, Faye. I appreciate it. Turn my whole bus black. Yeah, that's fine. Rust bullets are paintable, so you can coat it in anything, you know. If you do plan on painting like the outside, then I would spray the rust bullet on and then light sand. Just use some motor oil and do some donuts on a dirt road. I mean, is it dumb if it works, right? What's up, Isuzu? Magic Shroom 66. No, I'll be building the 2276 stroker, air-cooled Volkswagen engine, about 200 horsepower. Yeah, B-Rad, you're right. Start from the ground up, you know? And it's honestly the shittiest of the work because you're under it. So just get it over with. That's what I did. I jacked the car up, pulled the whole front end out, the whole transmission, rear end, everything was out. I just had the body. And then I finished underneath and then on top of the floor pan that you can get to. I still haven't done anything to the metal in the front trunk or in the firewall on the back side, but the inside floor is done on both sides, underneath and on top. And then I rebuilt the front end, modified it, highly modified it, and got that installed, and then transmission and all that. I didn't build the transmission, I had it built, but then I reinstalled that. Caleb says after the rust work is done, the fun starts. Yeah, until you find more rust, which is why I stripped this whole car down to steel. When I bought it, it had on one of the doors, you could see the Bondo had chipped off, and it was like a quarter to a half inch in some spots. So I assumed whoever floated the car out was trying to cover things up. So I stripped it down to bare metal, and honestly, it was the best case scenario for a Volkswagen Beetle as far as rust goes. The only standard traditional rust I had was in the battery box and the floor pan. Those always rust out. Chris Jackson, see me on your For You page for a few months. How long have you been on this project? 15 months. Well, I think I just hit like 540 days since my first video post. But I didn't start posting until after I did the floor pan and rebuilt the front beam, the front end. I mean, what am I going to put videos on of me underneath the car painting and wire wheeling? That would have been boring. That's what's really going to be interesting to see. I've grown a pretty decent following in what I would consider a short amount of time. Thank you guys. But once all the fab work, once the art part is done and it gets down to the dirty work, wiring, plumbing, you know, all of that stuff, it's going to be interesting to see how many people stick around, you know. Yeah, 15 months isn't bad considering I only get 1 to 2 days a week maybe to work on it. Caleb says that's the fun stuff to watch. Not for most people. I enjoy it, but I mean, who wants to watch me wire the car for, you know, an entire video? I am now considering doing, I am going to start doing long form videos for YouTube. I'll post them on TikTok too if they'll let me. I don't know if they have a time restriction or not on TikTok, but I have to figure out how, and it's a lot more work to edit and make long form videos. It takes a lot longer, but I think I'm ready to start getting some of those out there. Like the Lambo doors, I have to do the exact same thing, all this fabrication on the other side. So I think when I do that, I'm going to make them all long form videos because I have a bunch of shorts on this side already. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, some people do on POV. I enjoy the entire process. Obviously, designing and fabricating the body aesthetically is probably the funnest because it doesn't feel like work. But I enjoy figuring out the wiring, and this will be my first air ride setup that I'm going to be plumbing in, so that'll be interesting. You know, maybe it'll get old after, you know, the 10th car or whatever. I don't know. Ian Russell is doing something similar. Ian Russell is the whole reason I even do this, just so everybody knows. Thanks, Caleb. I appreciate it. I saw Ian Russell long time ago on TV, and the stuff that he was building with the very small amount of tools that he had blew my mind. And just proved that you don't need a big fancy shop and all kinds of equipment, you know, to build cool cars. You don't. Flint says I should message him. He's down to earth. I have messaged him, and he responded on Instagram. That was really early in the build, like over a year ago when I just started stripping it down. But then I got locked out of my Instagram account and they won't let me back in, and I gave up. I've tried multiple times to get in, and whatever. So I've tried to message him on YouTube and TikTok. I would really be, I don't even know how to say it. I'd be extremely happy and excited if he seen my car and liked it, you know? Yeah, Caleb. He says the amount of cool stuff people build with basic tools and resources is amazing. It really is. It's all mind state. How bad do you want it, you know? Sure, there's faster ways. There's equipment, and I have bought some, you know, to cut time, but it's still completely possible to do it with minimal tools. It just takes longer. Yeah, Cooper. VW drivetrain. Well, the transmission's Pro Street built tranny for the big motor I'm putting in, but it's still Volkswagen air cooled. Still Volkswagen. Where are you located at, Caleb? 2332. Yeah, I'll be building a 2276. I could have went with the bigger crank and got the extra CCs, but 2 hours south of Chicago. Yeah, Frank, that's pretty cool. Retractable roof on a Carmen Ghia. You know, if eventually I can get this to, you know, create money, then I can do it more. I mean, if I can accomplish this in 1 day a week, imagine what I could do with 6 days. Yeah, Southern California is the biggest Volkswagen community out there. All right, guys. I got to get off here. I got to meet with a guy. I'll see you on Sunday morning.